Today is very special because it's the final day of May, where tomorrow, we will go on to June and then another big ponder on what's going to happen. But to all photographers and to all listeners out there, we being Malaysians, let me just let you know that my first wish, especially for our friends in Sabah, Kotobian Tadau Keamatan, which means happy festival for harvest in Sabah. You see, we in Malaysia, we celebrate all kinds of incredible festivals. That is why I always say we are very proud to be living in a place called heaven on earth, where this is the place of different races, ages, faces, and places. Today, I would like to just bring up some incredible motivation. It's because we are already on day 75 or the 75th day of the Movement Control Order and the Enhanced Movement Control Order, then followed by the Conditional Movement Control Order. 75 days of inaction. Definitely something not very positive, but we have to remain positive if we want to continue our journey in this new norm going on forward. I always tell my family members, I will tell friends and colleagues that we need to embrace, enhance, and ensure change because it is inevitable. I repeat, inevitable for us to refuse this new norm because everything in this world happened for a good reason. Therefore, at 58 and a half years old, I learned about Zoom. I embrace technology regardless of your age. Learn to use FB Live, how you're going to go do online sales, how you're going to purchase items from online. These are all the very important aspects that I would like to share with all of you. I'm doing that. Now we have all the time in the world, staying in your comfort of your own homes to learn such new norms. And to photographers, regardless of your standard that you have in photography, regardless of how far you've gone into photography, my advice is it's time for you to use the cloud technology to enhance your promotion, to make people aware, because they always say a photograph says 1,000 words, always used by the president of YMCA of E-Photos Masters Club, Roshan Daliwal. A photo says 1,000 words. So maybe 1,000 can be turned into 1,000,000 words. So therefore, my advice is, it's time to disrupt the world, or you will be disrupted. I repeat, time to disrupt yourself, or else you will be disrupted. Which would you prefer? I always mention that if you happen to see a glass which is half filled, a person who's negative will say that glass is half empty. But if the person is a positive person, you will say the glass is half full. Because being full means you're a positive person. Therefore, I would like to join with all of you today what I have here, which is the word reactive. Right? Reactive, this is a word which I learned from distinguished Toastmaster Simbok, who mentioned that reactive is speaking about the past, speaking about your faults, speaking about looking back at what happened. So if you want to react back at the old things, let me just give you advice. Just let this C, bring it to the front. I repeat, C, bring it to the front. What do you get? What do you give? What do you get, sorry? From reactive, you become creative. So I want all of you to be creative, because creative means you are looking to future. You are future orientated. You are looking at what will happen 3 months, 6 months from now. I know everyone, including me, has lost income over the last 3 months. This is due to COVID-19 pandemic, which has taken lives. You happen to see in countries like America, now Brazil. Oh, it's terrible. Therefore, keep being safe, but keep going on forward. That's very, very important. As a public speaker, let me just also mention a bit of how you can become a better speaker. Remember, you will have to overcome your fright. The stage fright is something that you cannot have a shortcut, like taking a pill, maybe have a glass of beer, no, a wine, no such thing. Everything must be done according to the schedule of moving slowly up the ladder, right? Up the ladder. So to be a better speaker, it is actually valid for all professions, whether you're a professor, a photographer, an MC, an accountant, an engineer, or a doctor. The most important way for us to speak to the other person is through communication. And communication is definitely very important. I would like to motivate all of you to communicate better. It's a very simple tactic. In Toastmasters, we always learn about table topics. Table topics means impromptu question. So at home, just switch on your video camera and quickly get one of your family member to ask you a question. On the spot, without preparing, ask you a question. Like maybe I can ask you right now, what do you think will happen to you exactly 1 year from today? What do you think will happen to you exactly 1 year from today? Then you begin to record yourself. Look at your own way of communicating, right? How you spoke, how was the hand gesture, was the hands in the pocket? Were you speaking and looking for ideas? Therefore, by looking and evaluating yourself, you'll be able to be a more composed speaker. I feel very sad for the young college students and some university students whose mother tongue is not English language, could be Mandarin or Bahasa Malaysia. They are the ones who need to improve in their spoken English, because when they attend interview, they fail miserably. It's very sad. The only reason we need to move forward is for us to understand that English is an incredible, wonderful, beautiful, and fantastic language. So we need to learn together how we can make English a better language for each of you. So during this conditional movement control order, this is the best time for you to pick up whatever weakness you have, whatever you think you need to improve on. Nobody is perfect, so we need to learn together. Therefore today, I've came out just for this special program, what I call the 5 BPS. BPS is not beats per second, but BPS are words of motivation for us to continue forward. Let's talk about the 5 Bs first. I always mention about the 5 Bs. That is, you need to be bigger, brighter, better, bolder, and brilliant speaker. So I repeat, you need to be bigger, brighter, better, bolder, and a brilliant speaker. Then comes the 5 Ps. The 5 Ps basically means proper preparation prevents poor performance. Fantastic. I repeat again. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. That is the 5 Ps. And the 5S is always my favorite. The 5S always says to be a good and fantastic speaker, you have to be first sincere. So sincerely, then slowly, then steadfastly, surely towards success. There you go. I've just shared with you some incredible facts about how you should address yourself. You should motivate yourself to become better. Don't just think that this COVID-19 is time for you to go to tap mode. What is tap? My good friends know. Tap means take a break. We have taken a long forced break. Too long. So much so that I'm really worried the first day when you get back to work, you'll be so lazy. That shouldn't be. You should look forward with full zest. Look forward with full encouragement and happiness that you want to start work quickly and move on with life. I also would like to recommend to the Malaysian government that Saturdays should be made a working day. We have been resting too long. Malaysia has the most public holidays. Sad. In a way, happy, of course. So in the way for us to be more productive and looking back at the lost gross domestic product that we went through, I must recommend to the HR minister that Saturdays should be a working day, at least half a day. I know some of you will get angry with me, but I want to tell you that we need to move Malaysia to become a more developed country, because 2020 was our first vision to make this country a more developed one. Unfortunately, it was put into an incredible threshold idea. It's not supposed to be done that way. Okay, so Vetat always know that during my speaking as an MC, sometimes halfway through I interject with humor, because I always believe in an event that I do, laughter is the best medicine. If you laugh for no reason, you need medication. Proceed to an institution called the Tanjung Rambutan Mansion. I'm just joking, okay? Today, maybe I'd like to talk to you about English. Why is English a very funny language, right? Laugh if you want to, because by laughing, right, you will release endorphins from your body that makes you younger and happier, right? I always say English is a funny language is because, let me think, the word quicksand. The word quicksand takes you down very slowly. Change it to slow sand lah. Why you call it quicksand? Wrong. Then they say swimming is good because swimming is a good exercise. It keeps you slim and fit. Then can you please tell me why are whales still so fat? That's why. The next one, if olive oil comes from olive, where does baby oil come from? Babies? Give it a thought. The next one I have for you is if you go to a stadium. If you were to go to a stadium, they will ask you to sit down on a stand. Go to the stand and sit down. Very confusing, right? The next one I also always let you know is about mathematics. Very confusing. 2 is 22. 3 is 33. 4 is 44. What is 1? 11? No. 1 should be 1T1. So got 1T1, 22, 33. That's what I'm saying. Now the final question I'm going to ask you is, the final joke I have for you. Who can tell me which country is where English language came from? Or which, the English language is from which country? Some say America, some say England, some say Australia. Today I'm going to prove it through definition. Malaysian English, Manglish. Thai English, Thailish. Singapore English, Singlish. Australia English, Auslish. England English, English. So it's from England. Today I gave you with some proof of point. Therefore, if you happen to realize our life must be full of happiness, we need to be healthy. Don't forget also during this particular CMCO for you to keep exercising. We need to balance everything because weight factor is another problem. Malaysia's obesity level is alarming in Asia. Therefore, my advice to the younger generation, do not be a potato couch. Do not spend your whole day looking at handphone, watching it, playing games, because I remembered my professor telling me, Katie, remember EIM. EIM means everything in moderation. We eat moderately, right? We exercise moderately, nothing excessive, because this is where we will continue to move forward. Photographers especially, I know that it's a good exercise because by taking photograph, I've seen Chong Wei Tat at work, and it's not an easy job because he will start bending here, bending there, the angle over here, the angle over there. This is where we find that photography will actually exercise your brains. And I always respect photographers because people like us, we use something called AF, autofocus. No, we should go back to manual. We should learn about using the whole camera's idea of calculating the focal point, the intensity, and how clear the photo going to be. So my promise to photographers is when I grow older, right, I have a DSLR camera, is for me to sit down with them and start learning the functions of what a camera is. Many of us, especially Malaysians, I know, when we buy a new product, we don't bother reading the operation manual. I know. So when they sell the particular item second-hand, the camera can look old, but the operation manual is in showroom condition. You have to agree with me, because I find that is really true. So we have to be sure, we have to make sure that the proper manual is being done correctly, that we go through carefully, so that we can learn at least 80 to 90% of the functionality of the particular product. I believe this evening has been a great evening for me, for all of you. Today is Sunday, a day for us to rest. But why are we resting? We've been resting for the past 75 days. Therefore, I would like all of you to have this shake-up alarm for you to start thinking, where do you go from now onwards? Embrace the new norm. And if you are thinking of some online investment, some online trading, online marketing, online education, whatever is in your mind, don't stop that creative juice inside your brains, to let it flow, to let it exercise, to let it energize, to ensure that you are in the right direction. Focus is important, because we know everyone is going through certain kind of depression. So instead of being depressed, it's time to release your pressure and increase your pleasure by learning and embracing new technologies. I know of a good friend of mine, Sundralingam alias Sunny, right? He can be in his mid-60s, but he has never failed to learn technology. Another member of mine in Toastmasters, his name is Singaraya. He too, at the age of almost 70, has got the most gadget that any person have in IT. And these are examples that age is only a number and it does not matter. As long as you would like to move forward and learn, there definitely will be a chapter for you to learn forward. Again, my other advice for you is to be a better speaker also, is to join Toastmasters. Not by just joining, but as a member, by joining in the online meetings. You can always send me a message, and I can always advise you to which Toastmasters club you can go and join as a guest to see how Toastmasters members help each other to evaluate, to present their speeches, their prepared speeches, and how table topics had assisted the members to become more composed and eloquent speakers. Therefore, learning never ends. I was in a university in Canada. I have a fourth-year student who was 92 years old. He former Prime Minister Mahathir. When I asked him this question, Mr. Smith, may I ask you a question? Why at 92 years old you are still coming over to the university and taking this course in statistics? He says, Katie, I think I promised myself, before I leave the world, I will complete my degree. And he did that at 92 years old. So remember, age is a matter. The younger you are, it is better for you to focus yourself, to enhance and enrich your knowledge, that this is the way for us to move forward. After COVID-19 pandemic is over, the world will be a tougher place to stay. Only the best and the fittest survive. How many millions will lose their jobs? How many families where their sole breadwinner will not be working? Many of my friends has turned to be a Grab driver, which I am very tempted to do. Why not? It is an honest living. Drive Grab, make yourself happy, get to know more people. And this, I believe, is the way thing out of the normal box that we get one source, but few sources that we go on. I am also now testing and trying my online events. Right, yes, why not? So the online event is up. I will be roaring to go as an MC, to move forward, to at least share my experience, to be the main man, to be the host, to continue creating and disrupt the wave that is controlling us so far. Nothing can stop us. Nothing. Therefore, my advice today to motivate all of you is to keep going. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. There's a song sung by Billy Ocean in the 1980s, which happens to be one of my favorite songs. He happened to see a lot of songs there. Many songs there are full of motivation. Of course, some are sad songs, some are love songs. Listen to songs with the lyrics that can bring you higher. You light up my life, you raise me up. These are songs. Songs of inspiration, songs of motivation and happiness that will spur your heart into something incredible, making your brains work, and so forth. I believe, ladies and gentlemen and listeners today of PhotoJam, together with all of us here this afternoon or this evening, will be entertained with what I've spoken. Oh, in the meantime also, in Malaysia, you know what? This is truly an incredible country. I'd like to wish all my Muslim friends, Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, Maaf Zahir Batin. Because we know that in Malaysia, whenever we have a festival, the festival will be at least 1 week to 2 weeks long. I would like to apologize, of course, to my Muslim friends that this year, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are unable to celebrate the normal way of eating lemang together, sitting there chit-chatting. And I've been doing that for so many years. Even 2 of my younger brothers had married Malay, they're Muslims, and I have a chance to visit them every year. But this year, of course, is a year of difference, a year where we have to order lemang online. And this is the year where we are supposed to have not less than 20 guests in the house. But nevertheless, remember, if we persevere and if we take care of ourselves, if the faster the COVID pandemic can go away, never come our way, we will be consolidated as Malaysians of great strength and unity for us to move forward. That is very, very important. Let me just check and see whether I've got any FB questions to answer. If any of you would like to ask me any questions, this is really great time for me. You can leave a chat. Hi, I would like to say hi to a good friend of mine, Fu Sebun. Hi, Sebun. I've seen the messages that were flowing in, and I feel so motivated that a lot of my clients, my Toastmasters members, friends from universities, friends that I've known from the classic cars, they're all listening in. So I think, Waitat, sometimes the best day for us to have a talk like this should be on a Sunday, where they're more relaxed, they're more at home, they have the cup of coffee, they sit back, relax, and listen. I am really very happy, yet humble, to be given the honor to once again to be invited as a guest speaker by PhotoJam channel. I want to thank Chong Waitat as we have gone the last 4 or 5 years. There is one event that we do every year, the World Class Sustainable Cities, that is being attended by many mayors across the world, where we learn how we're able to sustain and green the city, how we're able to stop development and equalize it with bicycle lanes and so forth. The reason why my job as a master of ceremony is so interesting. When I do a different event, I learn new things. When I do an event for, let's say, Tasik Cement, I learn about cement production. When I move on to an event for kindergarten, I learn to be young again and dance with the children. Therefore, as I mentioned, we have to be an all-rounder. Never ever give up expectations. Nobody is perfect. We are all born with different kind of IQ and EQ, but let's make the best out of it. As for me, I don't simply give up. I'll make sure that I keep trying and try to improve on my weakness, and then we ponder and move on. So with that, I believe, to all listeners out there, I thank you very much. Day 75 of the MCO and CMCO, we will not give up. Tomorrow is a new month, right? As we move on to the second half of the year 2020, we will continue to soldier on with perseverance, with inspiration, with motivation, and the NGU. NGU means never give up. So if you're a Chinese, your surname is Ngu, that's important for you to continue moving on. And before I go, let me tell you that this incredible evening is an evening of success because all of you listened in. All of you took time for the past half an hour to share your thoughts together with me. And for that, I feel humble. With that, thank you very much once again. Remember to stay healthy, happy, hearty, and harmonious. And let's pray in our hearts to Almighty that we will have the pandemic over soon, back to our own life. But in the meantime, practice social distancing, be safe, and be happy. Thank you very much. Have a great evening and a fantastic week ahead. Terima kasih. Thank you. Sese. Mkoisai. Mika nandri.